All right, so I have 3 things for you, and number 1 is...
saving money. Wanted to save a lot of money. You're essentially saving all the costs you would pay for labor doing it yourself. Obviously, that makes things take a little bit longer. Talk about that later, but that's probably the number 1 reason is to save.
And that's a big reason overall. But in case you're watching this later, we are doing this the spring of 2022, where inflation's starting to take off, gas prices are high, and of course lumber costs have been crazy. So our general costs have gone up. So for us, that has made our overall cost bill come way down.
Number 2 reason. There we go.
Number 2 is you don't have to deal with contractors. So even if you are going to be the GC and you're going to kind of general contract yourself, even then you still have to deal with scheduling people, trying to fight with people. And honestly, even in this area, we're in East Tennessee and other areas, we've heard a lot of really bad horror stories of people trying to build houses with contractors right now. I'm not trying to give contractors a bad name. So if you are one, please don't be offended. If you are a good one, that's awesome. There are a few of you out there. But for us, number 1, we already said that saves us money, but also in the long run, it is kind of saving us time as well, because scheduling a contractor right now and then getting them to follow through is a little bit of a nightmare.
And sometimes when you're using contractors, you are not their only job. You are not their only focus. Even at that time, they could be leaving your job, going on to another job, get materials for a 3rd job. So just think that you're not their sole priority, which is fine, but just keep that in mind.
If
you can see my Coca-Cola and my cookies in the background. We're not stopping now.
Snack. All right, and for a 3rd reason that we are self-building and maybe you would consider self-building is...
the pride of building your own house. That has been on my list for a long time. I wasn't expecting it to be so fast with kids, but we found ourselves here. But man, that is on my list. To build my own house is pretty important for me. Being a maker and just a creator, something I've wanted to do for a long time.
He's been a builder, and I knew when we were moving and considering things to do, I knew this was an itch that was going to be scratched at some point in this man's life. And everything just lined up, and it seemed that this was the time to do it. So if you have that inkling, or you have a desire to do it, find the right time and go for it. So, and those 3 reasons are our big ones of why we did it. There's tons of small things we can go into of our circumstances and timing and all of that. But you don't want to watch an hour-long video. Let's think of 50,000 reasons you should not self-build.
So number 1, this is kind of funny or joke, but seriously, if you have little children.
Yeah, don't self-build with little children.
Well,
oh wait,
I say
we're doing that.
Just don't do it. Just consider it. Obviously, we're doing it. We're making it. It's just been a little tough, and man, it's just been tough.
So just think it through.
Yeah.
If you have questions, just email us. We won't go deeper there. Another one would be if there is any type of problem in your marriage, do not self-build as a couple. Really bad move. Or move into a camper, or probably general contract to build. I don't want to go into marriage advice, but let's just say...
any kind of building. No, I'm kidding.
Let's just say it can be stressful. What else you got?
I want to say one that's kind of interesting. I've heard from some contractors that because they buy materials in bulk, they actually can get better discounts on materials than your average Joe. So if you actually use contractors, you're probably getting a discount on materials that you won't see listed out, but that kind of rolls in with their labor and different things. So they're probably paying for materials a little bit cheaper than if you're self-building. So that's kind of, it's low on the totem pole, but it is a reason.
Right. I would say really, really consider your job situation and what your job requires of you, and consider that with your timeline. Because if you are thinking, I'm going to self-build in this amount of time, but I'm also going to work 50 to 60 hours a week and have kids and all these other things, you really need to look at how much time you're willing to spend working on this. And even with that in mind, I'm sorry, I don't want to go on a rant here, but just be considerate of, you can do math and say, I have this much time in the week to do it. But after, for example, we're a year into our self-build, math does not equal real life. And your exhaustion level and your even emotional and physical and mental fatigue factors into all of that. So keep that in mind and really realistically think about those things before you jump in.
Don't self-build if you are not flexible. Like if you put a plan together and something comes along and smashes that plan to bits, and you can't lose your stuff. I mean, you gotta move, you gotta change. And that happens so often with any projects, not just building a home, but if you've done any kind of creating, building, just creating projects, you got to understand that things change, things get delayed, the person that you depend on most lets you down or whatever that is, and you cannot let that get you down. So you got to be flexible. That's the most important thing, I think. If we weren't good at that, we are now. So
right.
Hey guys, those are some reasons to self-build or not to self-build. I hope you enjoyed it, and man, I hope we can be helpful. You know, I hope this video helps you think about whatever you're considering, either open up an opportunity or shut one down. If you have any questions, feel free to comment on our videos. So hit the little follow bell in that corner or that corner, somewhere down here, right around here. Helps us out. But seriously, leave us a comment, pick our brains, or tell us what we've done wrong, you know, and we like to interact. So yeah, helps out.
Good luck to you.
Thanks, guys.